Hello, beautiful friends. I am Ginny, and today I'm going to share with you a meditation on loneliness. Sometimes in the winter and over the holiday time, people can be affected by feelings of loneliness more so than at other times of the year. Of course, it's a very individual energy, so it could happen at any time, but being that it is December, I wanted to do a little meditation on loneliness, see what comes up. So go ahead and get yourself in a comfortable space. If you can sit, that is ideal. You can sit up tall. Imagine there's lots of room for oxygen to come in and keep you alert. It's really nice if you can place your feet on the floor. It can create a feeling of being more grounded. Some people do prefer to have their legs crossed, sitting more like a yogi would. That's fine too. I wouldn't necessarily recommend lying down, but you do you. Get yourself comfortable. Get your back nice and long. And when you feel settled, go ahead and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And begin to take your attention to your breath. Notice that you can inhale and exhale. It's always great to take your attention to your breath when you're meditating, especially if this is a new skill that you're learning. Sometimes our attention can drift, and bringing your attention back to your breath can be very helpful. Inhaling and exhaling. And then imagine you're bringing your attention to the center of your head, which is just as it sounds, exactly in the center of the head. The third eye has other names as well. Rest your attention there. Noticing your inhales and your exhales. Notice that you have an energetic grounding cord connecting you to the earth. It can be as simple as that. Just knowing that you have an energetic grounding cord can be enough to feel grounded. Or you can create a grounding cord that feels more substantial. If you're having a big day or a lot of emotion, you might imagine what that grounding cord looks like. It could be made out of a chain, it could be made out of a piece of string, some gold, perhaps a gold cord, anything at all. Just let it be simple and quick and just have that energetic connection to the earth. And notice that you have a space around you that is yours energetically. It goes about 2 or 3 feet in every direction. It is often called an aura. Notice that you're sitting in the middle of the aura, ideally. Might change a little bit when you get yourself into a meditation. It's ideal to be in the middle of it. Sometimes we carry it a little bit in front of us or to the side or behind, depending on what's going on in our life. Imagine for the purposes of this meditation, you can just sit comfortably in the center of your aura, and you can allow it to be whatever size will work for you right now. And notice what comes up from the center of your head when you think about loneliness. Have you ever experienced loneliness? Just sit in that for a moment and breathe, and let the emotion present itself to you. What emotion comes up when you think about loneliness? Breathing in and breathing out. If it is an emotion that is uncomfortable, imagine that you can move through it Imagine that you can sit in it and then let it go. Imagine that from the center of your head, where you're resting your attention, you can find neutrality with whatever is coming up. When you think about loneliness, perhaps a particular emotion comes up, sadness, let it go. Anger, let it go. Grief might be coming up. Let yourself sit in whatever's coming up and then let it go. And then notice again what is coming up. Grief can be pretty powerful at this time of the year as well. You might be missing something about past holidays. You might be missing family members or loved ones that you won't be with this year or today. Allow yourself to feel whatever's coming up and then allow it to move through your space. And you might imagine you can send it out the grounding cord. You can let it be. Example, grief. You can sit in it and notice what that experience is, and then imagine that you're letting it go out of your space. For example, sadness. If sadness is what comes up for you, notice how that feels for just a moment. And let it go. Notice you might be thinking about particular people who you imagine might experience loneliness. You can let that go. By having your own space and being in your own energy, you can help others around you who are experiencing difficult emotions. There is no need to take on their emotions. In fact, by sitting in your own space, you can be of more value, not only to yourself, but to others. So try that on. Can you be in your own space, resonating at your own vibration, and letting whatever comes up go? Imagine what you might like to replace loneliness with if you were experiencing it or are experiencing it. What would be something that you could call in? Perhaps community, the feeling of community might be a good thing to bring in to replace loneliness. It's going to be different for each one of us, so notice how that sits for you when you think about community. Let that go. What is the opposite of loneliness? What is something that you would enjoy having in your space instead of loneliness? Does it mean more people? Does it mean specific kinds of people? Friendships? Family? Lovers? What is the opposite of loneliness for you? And imagine what that might look like if you were going to create that in your space. Inhaling and exhaling from the center of your head. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice the breath. Is it constricted when you think about a challenging emotion? Or are you able to expand it a little bit more now that we're thinking about what we want to replace it with? From the center of your head, inhaling and exhaling. If you would like to create loneliness, for example, if you would like to replace loneliness, for example, with community, what would that look like? You might notice particular energies coming in when you think about what you would like in community. You might get a particular vibration, a particular color, a particular sense of what this community would look like in a perfect world. Let that come in and imagine that whatever vibration that is can fill up your space and feel nourishing. What would feel nourishing for you in community? And imagine that just like that, you can create that in the center of your head, even if it's just for a moment. And notice how that feels. And notice if it's comfortable to sit in that feeling. And then let it go. And then we'll do it again. What would you like to replace the loneliness with? What comes to mind? Perhaps something you hadn't thought of before. Perhaps something you're very familiar with. Bring in the energy of whatever emotion comes to mind as a good resolution or a good antidote to loneliness. And allow yourself to sit in that emotion and notice whether you enjoy it. And then imagine you're filling up your space, that aura, with that feeling. And then let it go. And now bring your attention back to the center of the head. Noticing again that you are sitting in this space that is all yours. Sitting right in the middle of it. Is there anything that you would like to change about that space and how it feels as you prepare to wrap up the meditation and begin the next part of your day? And if there is, just bring it in, just instantly own it. Perhaps you would like a new grounding cord. You can instantly have that. Take your attention to the center of your head again, inhaling and exhaling. And then imagine that there's a gold sun above you, and it is filled up with all of your own energy, your own unique vibration of gold. Gold is a really great vibration to use. Imagine you have this gold sun above you and it's filled up with energy of you. Energy that you left here and there. Maybe you left it at the grocery store yesterday or at a friend's house, or you left it somewhere last year during holidays. Call back all of your own energy that you're ready to re-own and allow it to shine into your space and fill up your space. Filling in all the little nooks and crannies in your aura where you've released energy over the last few minutes. You're essentially calling in more of yourself that you left here and there and everywhere. And notice how it feels as you call in your own vibration of gold. Know that your own unique vibration of energy is different than every other person's. It's similar to a fingerprint. And it will work better in your space than it does anybody else's. Allow it to fill in. And then when you're ready, you feel like you're in a good place, go ahead and open your eyes. Begin to look around the room. Bring yourself back into this present time, this present moment. And then perhaps giving yourself a little stretch. And then I always like to turn my hands towards the floor, bend over and touch the floor, perhaps shake a little bit, roll the shoulders. And then as you're ready, sit back up, take a nice deep breath. Thank you for joining us today for this meditation. Let us know what else you would like to hear. Namaste.